Shalom Aleichem, we're learning the Sicha of Shmini Aleph. Wow, what a Sicha. It is Chassidus, it is just deep stuff. As you can see, it's a combination of the Sichas of Shabbos Parshas Shmini, Tavshin Lamed Aleph, Tavshin Lamed Vav, Shabbos Parshas Achrei, and the Maimer of Achin Shal Pesach, Tavshin Chav Hei. And the Maimer is already printed in Melukot Beis. So it's a combination, and it's deep stuff. I mean, like, it's going to the heart of fundamentals ideas of Chassidus. So let's just dabble. Let's have a little of a taste of various ideas that really stick out. Obviously, it's talking about Shmini, the number 8. And the Sicha bases itself a lot on the Hemshech of Ayin Beis, the famous longest Hemshech in Chassidus. The stuff that the Rebbe wanted when he published it, that all Chassidim should join in sponsoring it at least a little bit, so that it could be on the shoulders of everybody, because it was such a big, audacious thing to publish this kind of Chassidus. So if you look, you'll see in Ha'ar 18, 19, 20, 21, etc. It's all referencing various ideas of the Hemshech of Ayin Beis. And fundamentally, what's the ideas it's exploring? It's exploring that the Basar Gashmi itself cries out Elikus, that the ultimate level that of Dir B'Tachtonim is not that it's a Davar Noisab, not that it's an addition, but rather the Welt, the Basar Zet, Kvod Hashem, and it sees it mitzad Tchunis und Teva from the Basar Gufa, it sees it from the flesh itself. Like he brings in Ha'ar 20, that we see from it says in the Ayin Beis, that Begili Nevuah, when there's going to be prophecy, when Mashiach comes, B'kol echad ve'echad, in each and every one of us, like it says in the Pasuk, Ve'eshpei chesruchi al kol basar, I'll give my Ruach HaKodesh onto every flesh. It's not going to be like the Nevuah that the Nevi'im had, sheyesh b'zeh kama t'noim, that there was various t'noim that to refine themselves and their bodies still shake, that went through a whole process. Why? Because it was a davar noisav. Nevertheless, with all that chametz they did, it was a dvar pella. It was an extra. It was something beyond their nature. It will be natural. And the Rebbe explains what it says in Ayin Beis. He says, even though the nevuah that they had was naifin of the Iyah, because they had various tanoim, they had certain conditions. As an as a necessary prerequisite, like he brings from the Rambam, and even after all these conditions, they couldn't prophesize whenever they wanted, but rather they had to plug themselves in and hope that Hashem, gives it to them. And sometimes it comes and sometimes it doesn't, and even then they had to take their clothes off and they fell on the floor, etc. So it shows that it was a Dvar Chidush. But when Mashiach comes, it's literally going to be mitzad tevo tchuna from the einei basar gufa, and that's one powerful idea that we see here in the Sicha. Then the Rebbe quotes and goes into Perek Lamed Vav and Lamed Zayin, that's the famous Tanya that talks about Mashiach, which we learned in Chitas just a few weeks ago. That totally by Maseinu Kolzman Meshech Hagolus, and the Rebbe goes to really explore what these words Kolzman Meshech Hagolus is, and over here it's just an incredible idea. It really is. And if you learn the Sicha, it's just unreal. Where the Rebbe basically explains, and let me just clarify, the Rebbe makes it more clearer in his Ha'ara, specifically in Ha'ara 31, that it's dafke galus, it's dafke helem, which activates the gilui of koyach mesiras nefesh. So therefore, tali b'maseinu calls my meshach galus, because without galus, without helem, you don't achieve that level. Because what's one of the fundamental ideas the Rebbe is trying to bring out into the Sicha, that In the question, the Rebbe thought that the Helam, how could it lead to Gilui if within the very fabric of reality, the world is Olam, it's Helam. But what did the Rebbe explain? That no, within the fabric of Helam is Gilui. The Rebbe, the Rebbe said on page 96, the Eibishter created the world in a way that within it you see its Kavanah and Tachlis. And because the Kavanah and Tachlis is Yisna'ar Metoich HaChoshech, Min HaChoshech, that light comes from darkness, so that within Helam itself it screams out to her. And therefore the Tanya says in Perek Lamed Vav, Shlekach Nivra Mitchilasi, the Rebbe says in Or 29, that this is what it was created for from the beginning. Because what's its point? Because it explains that the Helam Melchatchila was created for Gilui. So then the Rebbe says in the Or 31 that I mentioned just a moment ago, in the final paragraph, HaHelam the Olam Shayich LeGilui Atzmus, the Helam is connected to Gilui Atzmus, Mikivin ShaHelam Bizman HaGolus, He HaMe'oreh, the Rebbe highlights, that's what awakens Gilui Kerech Mesiras Nefesh, which is something that brings that even clearer in the Or, more than in the Pnim, the idea that Kol Mamesh HaGolus, that it's Golus itself that activates it, that brings it out, that's Ma'oreh, that the Choshech's Ma'oreh, the Or. And just going to reference to Ha'ara 34, which is quite an extensive Ha'ara, where the Rebbe is, it seems to be like an independent idea. It's like a full-on Sicha and Maimer on its own, where if you're getting an Ur, Shalamayla Mishtalshalus, and you're getting it through Helam, so why do I need Avodas Hamata? It's the Helam that brings it, not the Avodas Hamata. And the Rebbe explains the whole idea that there's two parts of Avodah. There's Mesiras Nefesh and Avodah Kochos Pnimim. And each one needs the other. And the Rebbe goes through it quite extensively. And the Rebbe says that Dafka, when you have your own Avodah, each and every one of us, then we are able to bring it within our nature. See, all the other stuff is not within our nature. The Helam is not changing our nature. The Urlam, the great Ur of Atmos is not changing. Only once I refine my nature and I through meditation, through Chassidus, etc., then when I'm able to activate the incredible levels that come through Helam and Mesiras Nefesh, I'm able to bring a bitchunos v'gidrei hanivdaim within my nature. And the Sicha finishes off with the whole idea of Mashiach, and the whole Sicha is really a Shmini Mashiach. We should be Zeichet to his Galus, Melech HaMashiach, take it from Yad Mamash. Amen.